What's up, bud? It's Rob. This is Apparel Success. And in this video here, what I want to talk to you about is what your unfair advantage is when it comes to running your clothing brand. And in this video here, I'm going to share with you what the unfair advantages are that I had that actually allowed me to become successful with my clothing brand so that you can really gain a firm understanding of this and put it in place for your own brand. I think this is going to be a great video. Here it is. This channel here is sponsored by my buds over at Design Crowd. And if you need designs made for your clothing brand, then I recommend that you check out Design Crowd. Design Crowd is a website that helps entrepreneurs crowdsource amazing designs from designers located all around the world. And for a special $100 VIP offer for Apparel Success viewers only, open up a new tab and head over to www.designcrowd.com/apparel to learn more, or simply use the discount code apparel when you post a project on Design Crowd. All right, the only way that you're going to be able to grow your clothing brand is if you can create an unfair advantage for your clothing brand. And the reason for this is because if you don't have an unfair advantage, then there's no barrier to entry for anybody else to create a brand similar to yours. And really, there's nothing that separates you from all the other brands out there. And it's so important for you to consider what your unfair advantage is in order for you to actually separate yourself, and in order for you to actually gain that perceived value in the marketplace that will really separate you from all the other brands. And it's easy for me to sit here and, think back on my clothing brand and be like, wow, we just came out with some t-shirts and it just sort of took off. But in reality, there are some things that happened with my own clothing brand that gave us an unfair advantage from the very beginning, that even when I was starting up the brand, I wasn't even necessarily aware of how much of an unfair advantage it gave us. But when I look back on it now, if we didn't have those things in place, there's no way that we would have become the level of success that we're at. Okay, so I want to share with you what those things are that we put in place for our own clothing brand that gave us that unfair advantage, that really took us to a whole other level, so that you can really understand how this will separate you from the rest of the marketplace. So with my own clothing brand, when we first started up, basically within the first couple of months, we got our clothing onto 2 or 3 of the guys from the Canadian show Letterkenny. You may have never heard of it before, but in Canada, it's a massive TV show. And at the time when we first started, that TV show was just a YouTube channel, okay? So basically nobody really even knew what it was, and they were just getting signed to television. So what happened here, what the unfair advantage was that we reached out to them back when they were just a little YouTube channel, and we offered them, free gear and free clothing. And they were super underground at the time, and we got onto them before they hit this massive upward trend. So we got our clothing onto these 2 Letterkenny guys right before their YouTube channel went to literally, national sensation and now international sensation. And now we still have those pictures of when we got our clothing onto those guys from the first time. That really gave us the unfair advantage in the marketplace, because now when clothing brands try and reach out to those guys, they're way too big, they're way too busy to care at all. At the same time, our clothing brand, K-Bud Apparel, was really hitting on this trend that is really an upswing in Canada, and we hit it right at the perfect time, which is that whole out for a rip culture. You may have seen the videos on YouTube. And just getting in line with that trend at the right time was just perfect for us and really gave us this unfair advantage in the marketplace, because we were really that first clothing brand to capitalize on that trend. Now you're probably thinking, how exactly can I replicate this? It seems like what you're talking about is pure luck. The timing of your brand, reaching an upward trend, and at the same time trying to get on celebrities before they get big. And my answer to that is that it wasn't entirely luck. At the same time as, getting onto those celebrities before they went big, or, hitting into a trend before it took off, these are things that we definitely had intuition of while we were starting up our brand. And there's a big reason why we started up our brand. We didn't just start up a brand and think, wow, this could, this is just like a fun little idea. We saw that, this whole out for a rip culture was becoming huge in Canada. We saw that, these Letterkenny guys on YouTube are pretty big, and this is pretty funny, and if we can get it onto them, then it will really complement the out for a rip culture. Then how big those celebrities got was really just a bonus to it, but we really did notice the trend, and I want you to really think about that for your own clothing brand. Where's the trend going right now? And are you aligned with a trend that's really going upwards that will really give you that extra boost and unfair advantage as first to the marketplace for that trend. I also want you to recognize that you can offer your clothing brand an unfair advantage based on your own life circumstances. With me, I worked at TSN for 2 years before getting into this whole thing, and one of my unfair advantages on this YouTube channel is that I know how to edit videos, I know how to shoot videos, I know how to do audio, so it was like, why not just start a YouTube channel and do that? And I used my unfair advantage of the skills that I had at work to start up a YouTube channel very easily, and I also apply those skills to my clothing brand when it comes to video editing for my brand or editing pictures or editing giveaways, and that's an unfair advantage that I have when it comes to what I'm putting into my clothing brand. Maybe with your clothing brand, you work at Disney and your clothing brand is Disney related, and that gives you the unfair advantage of maybe getting your clothing onto some of the people who are actually acting in Disney movies or performing in Disney movies. Whatever it is, think about your own life circumstances and what's an unfair advantage that you have that you can offer your clothing brand that will really, really make it difficult for other people to compete with you because you are offering your brand something completely unique. To finish this video off here, I want to let you know that your unfair advantage is basically the value that you're putting into your clothing brand, because whatever isn't your unfair advantage, whatever isn't unique about you, is generally offering your brand no value. Okay, so what's actually injecting that value into your brand is what's unique about you, what your unfair advantage is, and that is what really makes your brand stand out and gives it that perceived value that you need in order for you to sell like crazy and gain the momentum that you need. I hope you like this video here. Let me know what you think in the comments below and drop your brand down there. I like to check out the brands that are watching these videos. And if you haven't already, check out my clothing brand marketing masterclass video. It's 100% free to watch. All you have to do to get access is go to www.apparelsuccess.com/masterclass. You can watch the whole thing for free. And if you've made it to this point in the video, I want to let you know about the closed Facebook group that we have going on for Apparel Success. There's a link in the description below. Follow that link, join us in the group, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.